Aloha, everyone. Great to see everybody. There's people from all over the world. I see folks from Germany. I see folks from Brazil. I see folks from Kailua. Aloha, Lisa. Thank you for joining us on Island, as well as folks all over the continent, Canada. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's always a ton of fun. Craig and I don't know, I love doing these monthly live streams and checking in with you folks. And this today is going to be Big Island. Woo, Big Island represent. Awesome. Hopefully, I'd love it if we have a live stream where we have somebody on every island. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. And I love everybody making the jokes about high G versus low G. You guys crack us up. So for this workshop, I don't care what G you use. We're just strumming. I mean, I guess for the final thing that we're doing, where we're picking, you could do some stuff with the low G, maybe. But I mean, how I'm teaching it, I'm playing high G, but it matters not to me which one you are playing today. For those of you that have gotten your scholar packet, and there's still time, if you haven't gotten your packet, you certainly can. We do show everything on screen, so you don't have to purchase a packet. If you want to have the materials in your hands, you do. The standard packet's everything we're showing on screen, and then the scholar packet has extra goodies. It has a chord melody lesson for White Christmas, and it's my sort of jazzy version. Artist Work students may know that we did a White Christmas thing in our welcome videos, and it was Craig's arrangement, and it was a little more, I don't want to say simple because that makes it sound like it wasn't hard. It was hard, but it was just a different take on chord melody, which is one thing that I love about working with him, is that we both have different ways that we arrange things, and it's nice sharing that with our students. So there's that, and then it also comes with backing tracks for practice too. So excited about that. And the link for that, you guys who bought your scholar packet and are like, where are my goodies? There's a link in your second page of the Mahalo letter. I think it's the second page of the packet, that it's clickable. You can click on it, or you can type in the URL. Either one will totally get you there.
Maybe you'll switch that just to the front cover from now on, just to make it easy.
Well, we'll see. It's that I have a bunch of info I have to say. So it's like about stuff. So we'll see. Either way, we're excited. So many folks from all over. Woo, Capole. Yes, Larry. I love it. It makes me so happy. All right, now let's see. What time is it? Oh, should we get to the news, Mr. Chi? All right, so news. We have some news for you folks. So first of all, we have got over here some our Artist Works check-in. That's the next thing coming up, November 17th. Our good friend Mika Kane will be joining us. I'm very excited about that. Also, one other piece of Artist Works news. Craig and I have just finalized a bunch of lessons we're going to be recording, and they're trying to get out before, our hope is to get them out before Black Friday, actually. But it'll be around that time that we've got a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be doing 2 more segments of our practical music theory for ukulele. And finally, I'm ready to film those finally. The next segment is minor keys, and then the other one is how to read lead sheets and music notation, things you should just know. And then the other stuff, I have a whole giant segment on song endings, y'all. So you can like pick out different kinds of endings, not just jazzy ones. So we've got that coming down the pike. There's also going to be, eventually there'll be actually reading music with your ukulele is something else that I am also working on too. And I know we've got some songs, but we can't say the songs just yet because we have to get approval from Artist Works first. But I got like a laundry list of things that we'll be recording. So very excited. That's going to be happening. We'll be recording this month and next month. So Artist Works students, get ready. Next up, our next live stream and the last live stream of the month, or last live stream of the year. Super sad. It's going to be December 14th. Same bat time, same bat channel, 9 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time, now 11 a.m. Pacific. And for this, we're not 100% sure what it's going to be. It'll be a holiday song, I know that. But just make sure, mark your calendars. We'll have the studio dressed up as always. So it should be a ton of fun. So that's our next live stream. And then don't forget, we have our ukulele cruise. We still have a few spots left. So very excited about that. We've got Herb Ota Jr. joining us, as well as Neil Chin. We may have some other celebrities joining us. There's some people we're trying to convince to just take a cruise and have a good time with us. So we'll see. If we know they're coming, we'll let you know. But yeah, so definitely join us next year for that. And 4 Strings at a Time news. Don't forget, we have got an awesome ukulele club lined up. It is a diaper drive as well as a jam. So those of you who are joining us in person, please bring diapers or dollars to club. Aloha Diaper Bank will be there accepting everything. And we are just really excited. It's, Thanksgiving, lots of families on all of our islands are in need, and we love working with Aloha Diaper Bank. So definitely bring those diapers November 16th, 9 a.m. Hawaii time. And if you are off island, no worries. You can always donate directly to Aloha Diaper Bank through their website, alohadiaperbank.org. If you donate to 4 Strings at a Time on that day, we will be giving those proceeds over to Aloha Diaper Bank. And it'll be 11 a.m. Pacific for those of you joining our live stream. We will be playing Hapa Haole music. And it's going to be a really jazzy good time, actually. I'm very excited about the song choices that we've got for you. Like, of course, Sophisticated Hula is a perfect one for that. Sweet Lele Hua, as well as Maile Swing, Haole Hula, etc. So we've got a lot of great songs. The packets are up and running, as well as Neil's lesson, y'all. Go check it out. Festival news. Ukulele Guild of Hawaii is hosting, it's their 22nd annual ukulele experience, or the Hawaii Ukulele Experience. But it's November 22nd through 24th. And it's going to be held at Bishop Museum. There's something happening on each of those days. The 22nd is a bunch of workshops. If you want more information, I did list their website. However, there's a lot more detail listed on their Facebook page. So go to their website, become a member. Craig and I are members of the Guild. And then go to their Facebook page, and that has all of the information regarding each day. Workshop schedule, performances, I think, are on the 23rd, and then the 24th, I think, are more talks and more performance-y things. So definitely check it out. And then coming up, our good friends, Aaron and Nicole Keim, sent us a note saying, hey, guess what? Port Townsend Ukulele Festival is opening up their registration yesterday on November 8th, actually. So there's two things that they run. We absolutely adore these two. They are wonderful. And we've done both of these events and love these events. Manuka Ukulele Band Camp. That one is an incredible and intimate experience. I think she said there's only like 10 spaces left. But it's a small group. You get to really work together. Class sizes are small. It's such a special event, and I can't say enough good things about it. It's wonderful, and also I love where it's set. It's just so peaceful. You can go out and meditate and like write. People have written songs there. It's beautiful. Port Townsend Ukulele Festival is also another amazing event. This one, the name festival kind of makes it sound like it's huge. It's another very intimate event. I think it's only like 150 people. But it's 4 or 5 days. Yeah, 4 days of like just like intense learning. It's something that's sort of what inspired Craig and I to want to host our own retreats, right? Because we loved having that, consecutive days together, being able to build on a curriculum. And so Port Townsend is phenomenal. If you haven't had the opportunity to go, they just opened registration. It sells out every year, so register right away. May 1st through 5th, 2025. Both of these events are 2025 events. So you'll definitely want to book them soon because, yeah, they will be booked up and gone. Also, what's your news? We love hearing your news. Thank you, Erin and Nicole, for emailing us and telling us yours. And clubs out there, if you want to see, you can even send us pictures of your club. We'll post them. We love being able to share what's happening in our community, and Craig and I don't have our hands everywhere to be able to do that. So definitely let us know what's going on. Send us an email, chimazel@gmail.com, and we'd love to share your news with everybody. Nice. And that's our news for today. So, yay.
And also, we're going to be announcing this next week, but start thinking if you're one of those people who start to get their holiday photos.
And decorations.
We're going to be requesting holiday photos with you and your ukulele.
Oh, for December's club.
December's Ukulele Club of Hawaii.
Yes.
And we're going to showcase that online during all the big jamming and whatnot.
Yes.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Ukulele Club of Hawaii's December meeting is going to be off the charts. That one it'll be the Ukulele Club meeting, and then we're also hosting a concert after. So yes, we are going to be asking people out there in our ukulele universe to please send in photos of yourselves with your decorations and your sweaters and all of that, because it'll be fun to kind of share that for the end of the year.
All right, and I have 2 little toys that I'll be using today. This is our new lens. Mm-hmm. It tastes really yummy. It's like,
Oh my God.
And then
That cup, every time it's in the kitchen, that cup terrifies me because it looks so real.
and then I'm borrowing this bass from Connie Lea. They call it the Tiny Boy bass.
That's what they said, but I think it's just called Tiny Bass.
So this is, you won't be able to hear acoustically, but it is like an electric bass. So I'll be playing this during the playthroughs today. So let me know what you guys think. I've been loving it so far.
Chris Miller has that same cup, Craig.
Oh, nice. Of course he does.
I love it. That's awesome. Hi, and I'm glad people have been checking out Neil's lesson. So 4stringsatatime.org/ukulele club. You'll see that Neil did a lesson on some fancy jazzy turnarounds in different positions. And the reason for that is we're going to be using them a lot for Ukulele Club's jam coming up on November 16th. So it'll be a ton of fun. And of course, it's live streamed and recorded. So those of you folks who are like, oh, I can't make it, right there, you'll be able to watch it. Don't worry.
Do I have this set? Oh, I do have this set up.
Yes, but you got the bar going through.
Oh, yeah, so I'll have to bring it up a little bit. All right, let me fiddle with that for a second. Because when I do bass.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh.
Yes. Thank you, guys. You always have such sweet things to say in the chat, you guys. Hey, Susie, November 16th, your birthday. Come spend your birthday with us. Maybe you should just fly over. as a birthday treat. Treat yourself. Oh, so it has been super, super rainy. We are now in our winter, which is basically means it just rains more. And it's a little chilly. It's like in the 70s instead of the 80s. I know, pray for us. So, but it's, so who knows? We might get to hear some rain today in studio. We don't have an attic, so that's why like sometimes you'll just hear this like crashing of water, because it's just a regular old roof with no attic. So that's very well possible. Yeah. Very excited. Yay. Also, those of you out there who are like, oh, hi, Craig. Those of you who are out there that are like, oh, I can't afford a packet. You can always email us and say, hey, I can't afford a packet this month. May I please still have a packet? Absolutely. We are always about sharing and giving. And the Scholar Packet actually helps us pay it forward so that we are able to do that and keep this free to the public, right? Because that's one of the things, I don't know, when we started doing these live stream things, you know, we didn't want to have it only behind a paywall like our online school. So for us, it was important to find a balance where we could still provide this for the community. And especially because, I mean, we started really doing the packet stuff. Well, actually, we were doing that in 2018. Where people could email us and then they would get the packet of just whatever we were showing on screen. Those old live streams, by the way, are real fun to watch. The ones from like 2018.
Painful.
Oh man, it's like we're using OBS and I used to do everything in Microsoft Word. It was a hot mess, but they're fun if you want to go down memory lane. And and then when the pandemic hit, that's when we started getting a little bit more organized with everything, trying to ensure that we could help out everybody and make sure that, you know.
But again, just a huge thank you to the people who do support these live streams that allow us to keep it free for everyone. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. And I think we're going to be making some changes for next year, but we'll let you guys know more about it once we've got everything finalized. Because we've got, as always, we have big plans in the works. We always have big plans. One day we'll slow down. Maybe. Probably never. All right, let's get to it. White Christmas. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to start by just playing the song Plain Jane for now so we can kind of get the music in our ears and all of that good stuff. I've kept things as simple as possible. I think the only chord that some people out there in the uke world might be like, is C minor maybe. You could also just bar the whole third fret and it will sound lovely because that's C minor 7. But I think everything else is pretty easy. And just in case, I'll also throw D in here too. Okay. You could also play D7 there and no one will know.
And don't worry too. This is going to get exponentially harder too. So.
Yes, it will. Don't worry. All right, I'm going to put headphones on so I can hear Craig's bass. And let's go through it. All right. Excuse me. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. See, just like the one I used to know. G again, where the treetops glisten and see children minor listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Second part, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. See, with every Christmas card I write, may your days be merry Okay. Not too bad. Pretty easy. All right. So there's a lot of things we can do with this song. So where shall I begin? Well, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to just, one thing I do, and we've talked about this before, is you'll notice I have a little diagram down there where we can like change where we strum. This is a really fun exercise that I highly recommend that you do for any song you know and love. We're going to start out really simple, but we'll ramp it up. But basically, if you have a little chart like this, you can start at random, just kind of going, okay, and I have it broken up into eighth notes. That's why it's 1 plus 2 plus, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And you can just randomly choose like this one, and this one, right? And then I can just take something like a G chord and only strum on those. I'm gonna keep this hand moving though as I do that. So if I was to do this and go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, sorry, I messed up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you can start making up strumming patterns. I also like using this as a way to write down strumming patterns that I like, because I always hate when strumming patterns, somebody refers to them as, oh, the down, down, up, up, down. What does that even mean? And also, where within the beat do those things happen? If you write things down in this manner, you'll at least be able to know, oh, that happens on the and of 2. Oh, that happens on the, the fourth beat or whatever, where like up, down, down, up, down. I don't know when that's supposed to happen. So that's just my own personal thing of like, I like knowing where within the beat something happens. You'll remember it a lot better. And you're also going to get better at counting in general if you are able to kind of do this kind of thing. Yeah. So let's do let me erase. Oops, that's not erasing. Yeah. Oh, good. Yay, Yvette. I'm glad she says this helps a lot because I'm a visual learner. Yeah, I also like it because you can look at it and know, like, this is when I'm supposed to be playing. Very handy. So right now, just for funsies, let's just strum on the down beats. And I'm only going to play through the first verse, okay? We're just going to strum on the down. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And then we're going to switch it up and we're going to play on the ands, which means we're going to be playing on the ups. But I'll let you know when that happens. Let's just try this first just to see if this feels different. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm dreaming of a white D7 Christmas. C. Just like the ones I used to know. And I'm just letting them ring for now. Where the treetops glisten and children, oh yeah, listen, whoops, to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Do that verse again with ups. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm dreaming of a white and 2 and 3 and 4 and Christmas suit and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 with every Christmas card I write and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and where the tree tops glisten and children's minor and 3 and 4 and G and 2 and 3 and 4 and sleigh bells in the D7 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and stop. Now that's playing on the ups. That's hard. Why is that hard? Because a lot of times we're used to hearing something happen on the one, right? So this is an exercise we actually do in Artist Works. We make students play on the down strums and then make them play on the up strums. So this is something that's a great thing to practice, right? It's helpful having bass for the up strums because then you hear, you know, the beats at least underneath you. But that's also why I was counting too, to remind you 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, for being able to do that, right? Because playing on the ands is more syncopated. So kind of a fun thing. Now let's look at some of these things that I pre-designed on page 3. So I've given us some things to try out. So this one, we're gonna play on the 1 and the and then take a rest and play on the 3 and. Let's see how that sounds. All right. Now we're just gonna play G for now, just so that we can hear how it sounds. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Nice. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Here we go. Now I'm dreaming for of a white Christmas for and 1 just like the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, where the tree tops listen and children listen to hear and sleigh bells in the snow and we'll end right here. Beautiful. Okay, so that's a different kind of thing there, right? Next up, I have given you less to play, which is we're going to play on the and of 1 and the and of 3. So what this will sound like is, let's go together and we're just going to hold G for now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and and 3. I messed up, sorry. I can't, it's hard to, some of these you're going to find are hard to sing and do at the same time. So with this one, the beautiful thing about this is, and actually even the one before it, there's space. Notice that I'm taking away strums from you because I want to leave space. Maybe for your bass player, maybe for someone else playing ukulele, right? So that somebody can do feels. The other thing I like about this and one is if I swing it a little bit and I do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. It has a little bit of a swing to it. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All the thing that I'm doing that somebody's probably like, how come mine doesn't sound like hers? Watch my hand. I'm muting the strings. I'm using my pinky to mute the strings. Do 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 do. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. That was really strange. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Right? So we've got that going on so that I can mute, right? Now, those of you that are like, I can't get my pinky to do that. Look at also how you're holding your ukulele. If you've got your thumb in the back like this, of course you can't do that, right? Again, your fingers are at a very funny kind of angle like this. But if I do this and my thumb is peeking over and I'm kind of resting and reaching across like this, my pinky can reach so super far and be able to reach all the way across. Also, your index can come over because you also need to be releasing everything in your hands too. You want to make sure that there's no tension happening here. Okay, so just again, food for thought if you're wanting it to be more like that. Now, let's actually try going through using this 1 and 2 and 3 for a verse. Let's try it just for the, or at least for the first part of the verse. Yeah? Woo! Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Here we go. I'm and 3 and 4. A dreaming of a white Christmas. See? Just like the one I used to know. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Where the treetops glisten. And 3 and 4 and C and 4 and 1. And minor to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Right? There you go. So that's using that one. Kind of feels more jazz-like. It's got a little bit of a swang to it because you're playing a more syncopated rhythm there. And that one's actually really tricky. So a lot of these, don't try to sing when you're playing them. Just try to play them because you're learning something new here. And I always find it's more successful if you just work on one thing at a time, okay? So don't try to sing if you're learning something new with your strumming hand. Next up, I have got us playing on the 1, yeah, and the and of 2. This one also can be, you can also swing this one too if you want, or just do it plain Jane. If you're holding just a G chord, let's see here. 1, 2, and I'm just going to do G. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I'm dreaming of a white and 4 and Christmas, yeah. With that do 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and boo do 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 but do 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 and D7 D7. Nice, right? That's another one that like you could totally do. It leaves space. I'm muting in between every time. And again, it totally changes the feel of the song versus what we were doing before, which was just strum all the time, right? The other thing you can also consider too with this kind of setup that I've done is you can also add in picking as well. Like if you're like, oh, I want to make sure I pick eighth notes. So for example, let's see here. If I was to take that same one, I could always go, let's see here, if I did G. Yeah. What I did there was I did picking. So I did C and E. And I'm just writing that down to remind myself those are the strings I picked, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now you might notice that this hand, I'm actually strumming on both of the X's and I'm strumming down on both of them. Yes, the and of 2 has an up strum. Honestly, it does not matter if you strum up on the ands or not, okay? It's whatever's comfortable. For me, after picking, my hand is already in the up position, so it makes sense to just strum down after picking. The main thing is just making sure that you are within the beat, okay? The beat is what is most important. And it might be that you don't like the sound of an up strum anyway. Or you might, and you might say, yeah, I want to do the up strum. So the main thing is the beat. The up and downs are just a guide to get you started. So don't get married to, oh, it must, if it's an and, it must be up. Not necessarily, right? So again, with this one where I'm strumming, picking, and then strumming, because as I said, my hand was already kind of in the up position. So it made more sense to come down with my strum than to go up. So think about those things as you start making up your own picking patterns. because you'll find that you'll do things differently. But again, the most important thing is the pulse of the song, right? Just like the pulse of your body. If you lose your pulse, you don't exist anymore. If the song loses its pulse, it doesn't exist anymore. When we mess up, like if I was doing these strumming patterns, I'll do the first one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, right? I'm doing this guy. I messed up in there and I played the 2 and, but did it matter? No, because I kept the pulse of the song going, so it didn't feel like a mistake. Craig has something to offer.
What was the drum machine that Jake uses again? That he always
It's a
recommends?
Boss. It's one of those Boss ones, but I can't remember. It looks like a bongo. It looks like a little miniature bongo, and it's Boss brand, but I don't remember. But yeah, drum machines, okay. This kind of stuff is great to practice with a metronome or a drum machine, which is way more fun. Drum machines make it feel like you're actually practicing with somebody. I know, yeah.
So it's not just like tick,
Tick, tick, tick. Yeah. So, yeah, I actually, because I grew up practicing with a metronome, I like using both. But especially if I'm doing a song that has a specific feel, a drum machine is great because you can set those up to play, swinging eighths. You can set them up to do jazz waltz or, samba or whatever. They have all these different settings, so you can actually work on the feel itself a little easier than, you can still do it with the metronome, but it feels more sterile. I like metronomes for like scale practice and working on transitions so that I can really hone in and focus on like the beat as opposed to really worrying about like how the song should feel because I'm working on something really specific. Or if I'm trying to build up speed to a song. I remember when we were going to record Blue Set, that song was so hard for me to get to the speed that I wanted to record it at, but I was determined. So every day I'd turn it up a notch on my metronome, turn it up a notch, and then I'd have to go backward a notch because I went too far. But that kind of thing is what I highly recommend.
but if you're starting to record and practicing that way, the drum machine is
It's excellent.
the best tool in that sense. Yeah.
It's way more fun than the metronome. I'm not going to lie. Especially when you have Jake dancing to it while you're trying to play. Note that the drum machine does Jake not included with your drum machine, but
Oh, I found it.
oh, great. Craig found it. Yes, it's super cute. Yeah. One day we might purchase that for practice. Right now, I actually use, I have a program called Band in a Box. That's how I make all of those cool backing tracks for the Scholar packets, is I input all the chords into that and I use their real tracks. So it's actually real musicians playing. And I practice with that a lot because that's basically a metronome, but with a band. So I can play along with it. So that's what I tend to use. Gina, metronomes are not evil. The thing that people don't like about metronomes is the metronome is always right. No one likes that. No one likes someone who's always right.
That sounds like me. I'm always right.
Oh, Lord. But anyway, we're digressing a little bit, folks. So anyway, feel free to use these pre-done ones. I have one last one, and this last one we've actually done in other workshops, but it's a good one to bring out again. This is the one that I tend to play whenever it calls for like islandy feel or like Hawaiian-y feel. Or yeah, I mean, even kind of reggae, but it's not really a real reggae. I'm like, nothing I do is real because I make everything up, you guys. But this is one that I'll use for an islandy feel. So I'm just gonna play G for now before I scroll up and make us try to play the song. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The bass helps, right? That's why. Yeah. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. See, just like the ones I used to know. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Do 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 do. Listen, and children, listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Oh yeah, oh keep going. Dreaming of a white Christmas. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and with every Christmas card I write. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and may your days be a merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. There you'll have to change it a little bit. Yeah, but I usually it'd be a little more like 1 and 2 and a little faster, right? And then sometimes the other thing you'll hear frequently, can we do the last verse, Craig, but do that thing that we played during the GG7? Or sometimes you'll feel them, like when it's the bridge or like an important part of the song, they'll totally change it up and be like, and do something like a yeah. Okay, but let's start with the regular first and see if I can do it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1. Second verse. Do 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 do. C. Do 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 do. Here we go. Do 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 do. Back to the normal one. Something like that, yeah. Like you'll hear them do things like that where they're actually on the beat going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I said 1, 2, 3 in the beginning, but it's really 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So yeah, that's another fun thing you'll hear. I think we did that on. We did another Feels workshop last year where I like dove into that and actually made us do that in songs. But you could totally apply it to this one too if you're working on your islandy reggae-y sounding stuff, which is really fun. Yeah. Now, let's keep moving forward. So we've gone over like different ways that you can change up your strumming patterns to sort of change up the feel. Of course, muting in between your chords, as I showed you.
Go back for just a second?
Yes, going back for just a second.
So one thing I do want to mention real quick is that I used to call this my penny exercise. Mm-hmm. Whenever you feel like you're in a rut and you're working on different arrangements and you're having the exact same strum over and over and over again. This is one of the things, you start with a blank template like this and just randomly put 3 or 4 pennies on some of those blocks. And that way you can start creating, and again, some of them aren't going to sound that great, but some of them you're going to, oh, this part sounds fantastic. And you save that part and then add or subtract from the others. But this is where you can easily start breaking up your mold of your typical go-to strum patterns. And again, just to knock some ideas around, but it's a great way to feel like you can actually progress out of a slump with your rhythm in that way instantly. So that's my one.
Again, like knowing just enough about like rhythms and beats, you can start creating your own stuff and making up your own stuff. So here I have decided to completely change the song and we're going to play it as a waltz, because why not? Now, a lot of times when you're going to make a song into a waltz, you're going to end up doubling your measures. Okay, so where we once had 2 measures of G, it's going to become 4. Where we had 1 measure of A minor, it becomes 2. This is just a generalization. You might find with some songs that, the 1 measure is fine, depending, of course, on the lyrics and where you put them. But for me, this worked. Now, if you're doing a regular waltz, you know, pa pa, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's when you'd strum, right? Usually with traditional waltzes, you emphasize the first beat. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's try just strumming and see how this sounds. This is only the first verse, because this takes up a lot more room when you're doubling your measures. So if you are feeling up to the challenge, strum all the way on that first strum. 1, 2, 3, 1. And notice on the 2 and 3, my strum doesn't go all the way through because I'm trying to play those more quietly. So again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? Like I'm really genuinely trying to I'm not strumming louder per se on the first beat. I'm just strumming all the way. And then the others are quieter because I'm only really hitting 2 or 3 strings. Work smarter, not harder. Okay? If you're not feeling up to it and you're just like, I can barely strum and think about this song, then you can just do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's fine too, okay? Okay, here we go. We'll go a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm dreaming of a white. I'm messing up. I'm totally going so fast. Dreaming of a white Christmas. See? Just like the ones I used to know. Where the tree tops glisten and chill. Sorry, I messed up C. I messed up, sorry. Listen. I was thinking about something else to hear. Sleigh bells in the snow. All right. So that one, sorry, in the middle of it, I was thinking about my strum and how I was actually playing the opposite because I'm used to doing it the other way, where let's talk about what I have underneath, which is I always like plucking my lowest string. If you play low G, try plucking your G string. If you play high G, you'll be plucking your C string. You might find with your low G that you might pluck the C string for some chords and the G string for others. For this one, because you're playing a G chord, your low G, folks, you're going to be actually hitting the root note nice and low. For us, we're going to be hitting that D note. It's still going to be just fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick on the 1 and then strum on the down. So again, pick, down, down, or your thumb. I don't really care what finger you use, whether it's your index or your thumb or your index. I tend to use my index because it brings my hand back up to strum, right? Let's speed up a little bit. Here we go. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. See? Just like the ones I used to know. So for me, that feels more natural. I like hearing the one note and then the strums, but that's a personal preference. You can totally, the first way is also valid, where you're just doing 1, 2, 3. Because again, it's all about where within the beat you're playing stuff, and we're still playing the same thing, but we're doing, a little bit of changes. So again, low G, you'd be playing your G note, right? And then here with A minor, you'd be playing the A note, but the D7, I'd probably switch to my C string. And same with my C string. Or C chord, I would switch and do that. So when you play low G, you can actually kind of make really conscious choices. Whereas right now, I'm just playing the lowest string I got. Where low G, you could actually make some really neat choices, adding in that and really trying to hit the root first. I'm not to say that for waltzes, you must hit the root note for your first one, but just it's a great way to start, and you know what's going to sound good. So, food for thought. How did everybody feel about just playing a regular plain Jane waltz, right? For this song, it works and it feels good, especially if you can speed it up a little bit. It doesn't drag as much as like the very first time we played it. It was like, this is dragging. That's why I was trying to sing too fast. Now, okay, we're going to work on another technique now. And we're staying in waltz land. We're going to work on jazz waltz rhythm. Jazz waltz is a little bit different. And with this, I'm going to teach you what I do to get that kind of sound and to get it nice and clean. You can do this with strumming too, but I tend to pick everything. And, can you repeat the last suggestions about change in plucks? So somebody asked a question about repeating what I was doing for my, so instead of doing strum, 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 I was saying that you're going to pluck your lowest string. Right now, for me, it's my C string, and I do pluck on the C only, and then strum, strum, pluck, strum, strum, pluck, strum, strum, pluck, strum, strum, okay? And then, of course, I could, I can go right there. I could, thank you. I hope it's in tune, okay? But I could do, for my G, I'm on low G, y'all. What? And guess who handed it to me? The man himself. So what I'm gonna do is pluck, strum, strum, pluck. Then for A minor, stay on the G string. D7, I'm gonna pluck the C string because it's the root. And then same with my open C. Back to D. And I'm just doing, and then back to G. Sorry, out of habit. Right? Because I've got my G root, I've got my A minor, and then D, I'm here. And honestly, I can't, this D, that's C. That's the same D as this D. That's why it's like I'm not going to put it on my G string unless I'm doing some kind of moving thing with it. But yeah, but that would be for you low G folks out there. I'm feeling generous in my holiday spirit. I'm just teasing. And then the D7. You could still go to the G string if you want, but
Or
and
just alternate.
yeah, oh yeah, or so yeah, you could. D7. I started on the C string, right? So you could do that too. Thank you for giving me a low G.
Yes, I will admit you do have many more options with the low G.
Yeah. So, I love that. And thank you for asking me to repeat that. And thank you, Craig, for being able to, because yes, we have a low G uke hanging around. There's only one, but we have one. And that's actually because we have, in our Artist Works curriculum, we have some low G lessons, y'all. So I have to be able to answer those people. And notice how I said I have to answer those people, because Craig does not answer those people. No, I'm just kidding. He does. All right. I know, a positive low G statement
Well,
from
I
Craig.
said you have
Happy
options. I
holidays.
didn't say it was better options. No, no, no.
Oh, yes. Our low G ukulele, Nora says, that's a beautiful uke. It's another kanilea. I forget. It's it's a fancy model, but that one has a sad story. Cameron was doing something and he totally broke that instrument. And it had a humongous crack on the face. And we took it into Kanilea, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And they fixed it, and it looks amazing. You'd have no idea, unless I pointed it out, you'd have no idea that instrument, like, had severe, I think the battery, so he did something and the battery got loose and just went bam, bam, bam inside the instrument and totally cracked it. I think he was like a year and a half. Like, it is what it is when you have, because we just have instruments out, so you just have to be mindful. And he's really good now about not grabbing. Well, he'll still grab them and play them, but he's gentle with them. Yeah. And yes, my De Silva is still, or did I change it to high G? That one might still be low G. Yeah, I still have that one. It's a great instrument made by the great De Silva, Michael De Silva. Okay, jazz waltz. Here's what we're gonna do, people. We are gonna hold the G chord. And what we're gonna do is now I'm teaching you how I do it. If you find another way that works for you, you could totally do it that way, okay? So what I do is I take my thumb is on my G, my index is on the C, E, and A, okay? So I have my fingers like this. So they're each assigned a string. And then I pluck with my index on the C string, and then my other three, pluck the other three. Try just doing this. See everybody else. See everybody else. See everybody. I'm going to scoot a little bit. See everybody else. See everybody else. This might feel very foreign to some of you, especially having to pull that ring finger in to be on that A string. See everybody else. See everybody else. Okay? Now, for the rhythm that I tend to do. 1 and 2. Sorry. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I know I'm doing 4s right now. Now I'm going to do 3s. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Woo! Woo! Right? It's a little harder. And then when we start to swing it, because I made us play it plain Jane, and you notice I made us do it in 4/4 time at first. The reason for that was to give you space and time for your brain to make it back to 1. And then we take away that half beat, and you'll be surprised at how that can really mess you up. But so we have that. So if I was to do, and the thing is, I wouldn't play this whole entire thing with just this one pattern. I actually end up doing a mix of 2 patterns. Underneath it, you'll see I have 1 and 2 and 3 and that's me doing, right, doing that just regular plain Jane waltz thing. So a lot of times what you'll hear me actually do is I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. So a lot of times you'll hear me do that first pattern through all the G's, and then during the A minors and the D7, anytime I have 2, I tend to do the first one and then the second one. Now, you can do whatever you want. If you're like, I gotta only play that first one, Sarah, I can't mix and match them. You don't have to. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna play it how I would like to play it. Okay. And you choose whichever one. And if you're like, Sarah, I'm still on 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can do that too, because you're just going to be playing basic rhythm with us. Okay. So if you're willing to try, boot up, boot up, boot up, boot up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. And I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and chill. Children, listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Right? So for me, I tend to use a mix, right? I do a lot of the first one though. You'll notice in different spots, like I used it, different spots I didn't. But again, it's still that same kind of feel. And you can totally hear that with you would be hearing with like the brushes on the drums and stuff. Because that's what I'm kind of trying to mimic, because especially if I'm playing by myself or just a bass player, it's like we got to hold down that kind of rhythm for it. So it's very fun and also very tricky if you've never done this with your fingers before, where everybody needs to be a little independent, right? So again, I'm just holding open strings. So pluck, everybody, pluck, everybody, pluck, everybody. Now, if you play low G, you could do G string, C string, G string, C string, right? Because you can alternate between the two, like how we did in the waltz before. But that's even trickier, right? Because if you've got G with your thumb, 3 fingers, then C, 3 fingers, different fingers, right? So again, something to consider if you play low G is being able to do something like that, where you're alternating between these 2 strings. I don't have to worry about that because I just have this one low middle C string, okay? So let's go through one more time with that, because this is a whole new thing before we move on to something harder. Okay, here we go. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. G7 and C minor to hear. Yeah, so you can hear there, like, I did it different places there too, but it all sounds fine because, again, you keep the pulse going. So that's just a sort of an example of you don't need to play the exact same rhythm through the entire song.
You need to speed that up for like how you would.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Yeah. So if I was to speed it up, that's like probably the kind of speed I'd do for this song because it feels like I'm ice skating. That's how this jazz waltz makes me feel about this song. Like I'm ice skating and I always try to have a visual to kind of help me with it. And that's also why you started seeing me swing. Because I was like, I'm ice skating. It's so fun. Yeah, jazz waltz. It's a good time. And doing it that way, it's always clean versus doing something like which you can do with strumming, but I just find I tend to pick because it's cleaner. All right, let's change the chords because I'm tired of playing those chords. I'm just kidding. We're going to change the chords because of the kind of style we're going to end up doing in a few minutes. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add slightly more jazzier chords. Now, I could have totally added these earlier. Like we could have been playing these the whole time. But I wanted to give you something, again, if I'm giving you something new to do with your strumming hand, I didn't want to throw too many new chords at you. Though I'm going to do that to you for the next song. But don't worry about it, or for the next part. So, let's see. Do you only pluck the C string once? 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. No, I pluck the C string twice on the 1 and then that and. Now, if I'm doing that one, I'm only plucking the C once. So hopefully, Nora, that answers your question. Now, for this one, we've got a G chord. And I don't know, I'll walk through the chords. So maybe we'll do a close-up for this. I'll just walk through slowly. We're going back to 4/4 time, y'all. So, here we go. You got your G chord. And then we switch to a G sharp diminished. Dreaming. 1, 2, 1, 2. Of an A minor. Right? And then D7. And C, just like D7, and then your G. Now, the reason the G is highlighted is I want to point out, because of what I'm going to make you do next, I didn't add this in. However, where you see the highlights, you could totally do G, G sharp diminished, A minor, D7 for 2 beats. This is how it would sound with my I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. C, second line. Just like the ones I used. And I'm going to do 2 beats of the first line. With a tree tops, right? And it leads very nicely into that, okay? So that's something, just FYI, you could do. We're not doing it today because of the stuff we're going to do after. We're just leaving it G so that you don't have to worry. So you could totally add in, again, that would have been, so here it could be G, G sharp, dim, followed by A minor, and then D7, okay? So that could be what you put in there if you wanted 2 beats each. And then, of course, moving on, you go G, and then, G major 7. And then G7, right? So that's nice. What's happening here is I'm walking down my root. So I've got 3, and then tops, listen, right? I've got that happening there. So, but instead of just doing G to G7, it's like, why not play that note in the middle? And it sounds real pretty. Then I have C, children. Now, I like C minor 6, listen, because to me, it's such a pretty sound. Again, you could just play regular C minor, and no one will know. But I personally like this. You can do it as I'm doing it, where it's a double bar, or you can do 1 finger per string. But notice how when I do 1 finger per string, look at how I've got a steep angle happening here. So everybody fits. I'm not trying to make everyone, oh God, this is uncomfortable, go across. It really is me just making everybody fit within this space. My pinky is the closest to the actual metal, and then this one's actually closer to the other fret. So everybody fits and looks so nice. So this way or this way to here. And then E minor, I just add my pinky to the party. G, sleigh bells. So it's a 1, I'm not like rah doing this. It's really sleigh bells in the A minor. Oh yes. Now, there's a repeat sign. So we go back to the top and then we go to the second ending. In the second ending, you have that same turnaround. It's a 1-6-2-5 in the key of G, where you do 2 beats. And may all your Christmases be white. And then D7 if you want to repeat the whole thing again. Okay? So let's try it out. Plain Jane. Strum anything you want. 4 beats each, y'all. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm dreaming of a white D7 Christmas, just like the ones I used to G. If you want to do the turnaround, you can. Where the tree 2 beats tops glisten, C, and children minor 6 to G, E minor sleigh bells in A minor, D7, G to the top. I'm diminished with a white D7, C. With every Christmas card I write. 2 beats, y'all. May your days be merry and bright, minor. And then we go to the second ending, 2 beats. And may all your Christmases be white. D7. End on G for now. Yeah, nice. So this is, I like these changes a little bit more. And also that highlighted area you could also do down here too, where if you wanted to do a turnaround. And may all your Christmases be white. I played A minor 7 there. For those of you that were like, you didn't play A minor. I played A minor 7. It's A minor. But for me, that's just a go-to for myself. So, all right, we've done these newish chords. All right, we're going to do something that I have avoided teaching. The reason I have avoided teaching this is because I repeat, I am not an authority on bossa nova rhythms, y'all. That's why I call this bossa-ish, okay? If I'm trying to give something that feeling of bossa nova, this is what I do, okay? And it is a non-symmetrical pattern, meaning that the whole strum pattern or the whole picking pattern itself, because I do that weird picking thing from Jazz Waltz, we're going to do it again here, is the whole pattern itself is 2 measures long, okay? So, what I'm going to be doing is, now if you play low G, you have more options, but we're going to just right now focus on high G, where we're only going to pluck our C string, similar to what we did with the Jazz Waltz, okay? Now, before we start, I want us to clap, okay? So we're going to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. We'll do it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's the first half. Then again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. We'll do it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, that's the first half of the pattern. The second half of the pattern, woo, it's more syncopated. Okay, notice that there's a tied note if you're actually looking at the music notation at the bottom. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 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 Put them together. Okay? Yeah. I agree, Nels. You do have to be born in Brazil and playing it your whole life in order to be an authority, I think. Just like with Hawaiian music, right? Like, I'm never going to be an authority on Hawaiian-style music because I was not born and raised in it. So, all right, let's do the entire phrase, starting from the top one. We're just going to clap it for now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, you can kind of start hearing that, the little bit of the rhythm after we're done counting it, okay, or tapping it. So this is something that you might remember when they had music in your classrooms. They would make you clap rhythms. If you are learning something new, I highly recommend doing something, either clapping or saying it out loud, because that's what's really going to help hone it in for you, okay? Now, the green dots or the green X's are referring to when you pluck, okay? I tried to give a color coding because you're going to be doing so much with it. So let's try hold the G chord, pluck your G, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Remember, the green is when you pluck. Try. Woo! Try again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. If I was to speed it up, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The clave. Because that's the other thing you need to keep in mind with this style of music, whether it's bossa nova or even samba. There's a clave happening in the background that's doing something very specific. There's a bunch of other instruments too, but the clave is something that you really have to think about. Whoo! I love that, Nels. Brave lady. That's why I call this bossa-ish. This is what so when we recorded this song on our Christmas album, Christmas Island, this is the rhythm that I'm playing. Because we've had many people over the years ask us, like, what was that? In that case, it's very fast, what I'm doing. I think it's do-da, do-da, da, I categorized it as a samba because it was so fast, but that's what I was playing on the baritone or on the bari tenor. Okay. Now, with this in mind, let's go through it one more time slowly, and then I'm going to make us try to play the song. Now, one thing I also want you to keep in mind with this is notice that we're playing on, except for that we're playing on the and of 4. That means technically you will be making your chord changes. If there's a chord change that's happening in the next measure, you're going to make that change a half a beat early. Okay, it's very anticipatory. And I'll show you what I mean when we get there. Okay, let's try it again, nice and slow. Remember, the green X's are what are plucked and the others are picked. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay. I'm going to turn the page. And on the bottom of that page, page 5, is just it written out music notation wise, okay? With what you're doing. And I wrote in red when you're actually playing. Okay, so G to G sharp diminished. You're going to totally have a chord change happening quick. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1. Sorry. I can't count and do it at the same time, guys. Sorry. So you have, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. So that whole line, you're doing a half a beat early. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and This one's fast. That one's on the beat. So one thing that you can remember is when you're doing in that first measure, you have pick, strum. Just remember that you're going to be picking, so you need to get to that C string first. Yes, correct.
And showcase the going from the G, that diagonal movement with that shape to the diminished 7 chord.
Oh, here? So what Craig is talking about is I've got my G, and if I'm going to the G diminished, I'm basically just taking G and moving it over and adding a friend. So if I'm going from here, my pinky can come down a little later because I'm picking that D note first before I even get there. So again, G, move it over to the first fret, A minor, D7, C, D7. Ooh, it's hard to talk and do this at the same time. And this one's a tricky one. Move it down, G7, C minor, and G, E minor, A, back to the top, G, G diminished, and A, D7, D7, and then the G. Second ending. And may all your Christmases be white. Again, from the top. And I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. First ending, do 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 to the top. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Do 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 do. May your days merry, merry and bright. Second ending. And may all your Christmases be white. That's actually what we did in the recording. So that's actually really fun. And may 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So, well, kind of. For us, it was, again, that anticipatory, like hitting those a half a beat early for that E minor and the D7 that really gets those punches in there. So, yeah, good times. Now this, I do not expect you to be able to like play right away. And if some of you were like, oh my God, singing and doing this at the same time can be really hard. So focus on one, okay? Because the thing that can be really frustrating is when you try to do too much at once. And this one, I remember in order to be even to play it and sing it at the same time, I had to practice. Like it took a lot because there's even more chord changes in the version we recorded because, of course, when I arranged the song, I was like, every beat will have a chord change because it sounds great. So there's all of this crazy movement and stuff within the version we recorded. And it's in another key, too. But just, again, food for thought. So let's do it again, and let's do it faster. I know y'all out there are like, what? Faster? But I just want to show you kind of like if you were to speed it up a little bit, how it would sound. Okay, let's play it through once. And if you want, jump in when you can. And if not, don't worry, you'll be fine. How's that feel, Craig? Aw, somebody came. Aloha, the folks who, with daylight savings, we don't change, but everybody else does, which is nice. All righty. Sweet. Are you trying something with the bass, Craig? Nice. Oh, I don't hear you at all. Yes, and yes, you can always watch the recording later, you guys. In fact, you'll want to, because you'll probably want to play along with this again and again and again as you try to get it down. Hearing White Christmas done this way, when we decided to record it, it was such a neat, such a fun, it was such a neat and fun experience doing just something. One of the things when we did that Christmas album is we were like, let's do things out of our wheelhouse that we don't normally do. And it was a fun album to work on. I was also very pregnant when we were recording it too, which is, I think, why Cameron loves Christmas music year round, you guys. He was singing Jingle Bells in July. Like, this kid. And I think it's because his whole time in the womb heard all the Christmas music. And also we do a medley of O Chanukah and Savivan, which is really fun. That was a hoot to record. Okay. Could we practice this with basic chords first? Absolutely. If you're like, I don't want to do all these crazy chords, you can absolutely play this bossa rhythm with the standard chords that we did at the beginning. Okay, here we go. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. Three, four, oh, 1, 2, and again, etc. Yeah, that's kind of what we did in the album. But it's nice, yeah? And it goes by real fast if you speed it up, more like that samba speed. So this is something that, again, we've had many requests for. I hadn't done it just because I'm not an authority on bossa nova or samba, but this is what I do in order to be able to create that feel. So definitely don't take it as gospel if you're like studying the stuff. But this is, okay, a great way to get into it.
So let's play through these chords,
okay, but
just a regular type feel.
All right, regular.
Just so people can still enjoy being able to play these kind of chords.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Strum however you want, y'all. We're just gonna play a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Oh yeah, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with from the top. Oh, I'm a dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. Remember, you can throw in that 1625 here, where the treetops glisten and children, oh, they listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Oh yeah, sharp 5 if you want. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days, may your days, may your days be merry and bright. And may all your Christmases be white. Yes. Yeah, it's a really fun song to play, you guys. Especially when you throw in if you throw in those extra 1625s that I didn't throw in for the sake of the bossa rhythm, it makes it even more fun. So definitely have fun with it. You also might have noticed I started, like when I first started, I played A minor 7 instead of A minor. Like if you know those other fancy chords, play those other fancy chords. I think for the ending for this, for the chord melody, I did all your Christmases be white. Oh, gee. What key am I in? G? Or something. I did something fancy there. I forget what I did, but I did something fancy. Actually, it wouldn't have been A flat. It would have been something else, but that's okay. Yeah. Whatever it is that you want to do. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Somebody's saying, this was a little more complicated than how it started. It sure is, y'all. Yeah. Oh, that's what it would have been. It would have been, all your Christmases be white, E flat. And then A flat, major 7, and then G major 7. May all your Christmases be white, jingle bells, jingle all the way, or whatever it is that you want to do. I was totally singing the harmony for that instead of the melody. But again, there's lots of things that you can do. And artist work students, get ready, because all of these crazy endings are going to be coming your way soon for our lessons that we're going to be recording this month.
Do the jazz waltz one more time in speed?
No, we already did that one in speed.
Okay.
We did that one. We're all good.
Okay.
So, but I hope you guys enjoyed White Christmas. It's fun taking a song that you know, you've heard your whole life, and then kind of going, you know what? Let's change it. Let's make things different. And that's something that I think makes music so much fun. Is, you'll learn something, and then it's like, oh, what happens if I change this or change that? And you can totally do that. I could have done a whole lesson on let's make chords change every 2 beats, right? Like I could have done that to you, but I was like, no, we haven't worked on this hand in a while. So it was fun to be able to give you guys something different that you can do with your picking hand. Again, some of you might not have ever had to pick with your ring finger before. So hopefully you had a lot of fun trying that out. Again, packets are available if you want to have it in your hot little hands. And if you want to have the chord melody for this one, it's a very jazzy chord melody. We're actually using some of the chords found in the Fancy Pants version. And I think I add extra things too. And I give you an ending as well. So I think it was that E flat, A flat ending, the flat 6.
Yeah, a special thank you to Kanalea for letting us borrow the space for today and checking it out. I might use it for next week's club too.
Yes, so don't forget, next week, if you want to jam some fun not Christmas songs, I'm sorry, I'm already in December. Next week, if you want to jam some fun Hapa Haole tunes, and we're going to be using 1625 variations during it, so you're already kind of prepped with that diminished chord. Definitely go to 4 Strings at a Time's YouTube, go to 4stringsatatime.org, and you'll you'll see all of the pertinent details, including the free music sheets. And join us. It's going to be really fun. A jazzy time. I'm leading songs. Halehaku Seabird will be leading songs. And Craig is actually going to be able to be on stage playing bass with us. So very excited. Should be a lot of fun. Thank you guys. All of you guys are always so incredibly sweet with your comments. We're so grateful. So thank you all very much for joining us for your Saturday morning. And it's time for us to prep and get ready to go pick up Cam because he's been out and about this morning. But thank you guys for a fun lesson. And we will see you either at Ukulele Club on the 16th of November or here with our friend Mika Kane, November 17th,
That's
9
gonna be
a.m.
fun. Yeah,
Yep.
Yvette, thank you for coming. Nora, Mitchell, Rick.
Yes. All of our students, Lisa, David.
Oh, so great to see you. Sam, good morning. Great to see you.
Yes. So aloha, everyone. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.
Aloha.